are going to move through most of the postures that we practiced and worked with last week about twice as quickly, and I'm going to demonstrate them without the blocks and blankets and props that we used, just so you have a sense of how you might be able to practice in different spaces when those items may or may not be available. So to begin, we will shift onto our backs. Our knees will be bent. Our feet will be about hip distance apart, or you can drop the knees together by walking the feet out the width of the mat and letting the knees just fall in. The hands can be on the belly to help tune into the breath. Maybe being able to perceive through the fingers the inhale, expanding the belly down into the breath in the belly, and exhale, feeling the belly gently pull back towards the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Just take a few moments to notice any sensations that are present in the body. Notice if there's any little adjustment you can make in your posture to be a little bit more connected to the ground, a little bit more comfortable. Taking note of any thoughts that are present. Taking note of any emotions lingering in the present, in the recent past. Invite some light attention on the breath. Breathing in to expand the belly up into the hands. Breathing out and feeling through the fingertips, the belly gently pulling back down. Breathing in to expand the belly. Breathing out to relax. Take a couple more breaths. Then when you're ready, you can gently pull the knees back up if they're tipped inward. Have the feet hip distance apart. You can even, on an exhale, tip the pelvis back so that the low back presses into the ground. You can extend the right leg up. Begin to awaken the ankle, rolling the joint one way, then the other. Maybe being able to rotate the hip and playing with the hip joint, rotating the whole leg out and in. Rotating it out and in. Press up through the heel. And exhale, bring the knee down towards the chest. Hands can come to the knee. Be starting to roll the knee around as if drawing circles on the ceiling to awaken the right hip joint. One way, then another. These can be big or they can be really small and subtle rotations. And exhale, you can gently squeeze that knee in. It might feel nice to lift up the upper body, and release. And we'll extend the left leg up. Again, rolling the ankle one way and the other. Press up through the heel, rotating the hip outward and the hip inward, finding that external rotation and the internal rotation of the hip. Extend through the heel, awakening all the muscles of the left leg, and then exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Again, awakening the left hip joint by making little circles with the knee one way and then the other. Exhale, gentle squeeze of the belly, option to lift up and release. Going to roll to one side and gently press up. We're going to move through a seated position to find tabletop. The tops of the feet can press to the ground, or the balls of the feet can press down and back. Whatever feels like you're awakening more of a stability in the belly and the lower body. The palms of the hands can be actively engaged with the mat, the fingertips pointing forward. The shoulders can rotate outwards so that the inner crease of the elbow can shine forward. And if you were to bend your elbows, they would move back towards your body rather than out to the side. We're going to take that rotation with us in pretty much every posture that we're going to practice today. In tabletop, we're looking to just feel for a long spine so that the tailbone reaches behind and the crown of the head reaches forward. Lifting up and out of the wrists and the hands, rotating the shoulders so that the heart feels broad. And pressing a bit down and back through the feet to feel stable in our core. From here, we'll engage the belly and keep the length in the spine as we inhale and gently allow the tailbone to lift, the heart to shine forward into a cow pose. And then exhale, push the ground away, round the spine into a cat pose. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, slowly round the spine. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, round the spine. Once more. And again. At the peak of this exhale, we're just going to untuck the toes if they're tucked and roll down into a child's pose, Āsana. Shoulders can stay externally rotated and engaged. Arms can stay active. Take a few breaths. On your next inhale, float back up into a tabletop. See if you can click into a moment for that sense of internal alignment and length in the spine. Take a breath. Option to stay here or you can walk the hands out and drop the hips a bit forward, trying to keep a long spine, those shoulders rotating out into a kneeling plank pose or a kneeling Āsana. Again, option to stay there if you're feeling present and engaged and strong, or to tuck the toes and lift the knees off the ground into a full plank. Wherever you're at, whether you're in tabletop, kneeling plank, or full plank, you're just going to try to take some deep breaths, again accessing that belly breath that we began with. We're going to meet in tabletop, and then exhale back down into a child's pose. It might feel nice to roll your wrists here to give them a break. Extend the arms back out into an active Balasana child's pose. The belly is engaged so that it's almost as if the strength of the belly is pushing and pulling the hips down to the heels. The arms are active. The spine feels like it's lengthening. This is one option for a down dog. A second option is that instead of the hips being right at the ankles, the hips will be right over the knees. And we'll walk the hands out a little farther and make a ramp type shape from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Looking for a long spine and a deep breath. Make sure your neck is free. This can help by rotating the shoulders outward. Again, option to stay here for a few more breaths, or to walk the hands back into a longer table. Tuck the toes, bent knees, and exhale, push the heels up and the hips up as if you're going to connect the tailbone to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. Again, we're looking for a long spine, shoulders rotate out. It might help to bend your right knee, drop your left heel down a bit, bend your left knee, drop your right heel down a bit, maybe even walking the legs out to get some movement in your down dog before finding a place where you can be still for a few breaths. The heels do not need to touch the ground. In fact, it's recommended to, even if you can touch the heels, keep the knees deeply bent and the hips pressing up so that we can get maximum length in the spine. We're going to meet again in a tabletop position from wherever you are. Then we're going to step one leg up, and we're going to step the other leg up. The hands will come to the shins, and we're going to keep the knees bent. Inhale, extend the heart forward. A little bit of that feeling of that cow tilt here. And then exhale, fold down. Inhale, extend the heart forward, tailbone back. And exhale, fold down. Once more. Going to have a little bit of a deeper bend in the knees. The belly's going to be strong to protect the low back as we roll all the way up. It helps to float up on an inhale and allow your head to come up last. We're going to practice Tadasana or mountain pose. So we'll stand with the feet hip distance apart. Your feet can also be together. It's wherever you feel most stable. Rock a little bit side to side. Find a place place that feels balanced. Rotate the shoulders out. Feel that your heart is opening. We're going to have a slight bend in the knees, and we're going to gently drop the tailbone down towards the ground. So we're not tucking under, but we're feeling like the tailbone is rooting down. And from that rooting down, from the hips down through the feet, we're going to extend the heart open and out, and the crown of the head up. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe again being able to feel your belly expand with the inhale. And gently contract with the exhale. When you're ready, we'll inhale the right arm up. And exhale up and over to the left. Take a few breaths into the right side of the body. Notice if the shoulders creeping up to the ear, and just gently help pull it down by imagining pulling down the shoulder blades down the back. Notice how deep your breath may be able to go in this position, where the breath expands the body and where it doesn't quite reach. Press down through the right foot, inhale up through the right arm, drop it down, inhale up the left arm, again allowing the shoulder to stay pulled down and away from the ear. On an exhale, we're going to bend over. Again, on this side, feeling where the breath expands the body and where it might not reach. Going to press down through the left foot, inhale up through the left arm, and exhale. Find what feels like your own internal sense of balance and alignment and open-heartedness in this position. Might be a nice reminder to bring the hands to the belly, expanding the belly on the inhale, and feeling it gently contract away from the fingertips on the exhale. From here, we're going to come back towards the top of the mat. Inhale here, hands to the hips. Exhale, nice bend in the knees and a forward fold. The hands are going to come down. We'll step one knee back, and then the other passing through tabletop into a child's pose or balasana. The hands can come down by the ankles. If it feels better, you can keep the arms extended in extended balasana. Otherwise, see if you can relax your shoulders and breathe into the length of your spine. Our hands will come forward, shift up again, passing through tabletop, maybe being able to find that alignment for a moment. And then we'll shift down onto our backs. The knees will be bent. Option to let the soles of the feet touch and the knees fall out to the side. Hands can be on the belly or the heart. You can stay here and breathe, feeling both the belly and the heart rise on the inhale and fall away on the exhale. If this is not comfortable for you or you wish to extend into a full Shavasana, at any moment you can extend your legs out about the width of the mat. Let the feet fall open and away from the body. Maybe lifting the shoulders and tucking them under behind you. Letting there be space between the body and the hands and the arms. Palms open. And from here, more internally, feeling the rise of the belly and the heart on the inhale. And the gentle release on the exhale. If you have the time and you're able to set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes, it can be nice to rest here. If you have props, blankets, or pillows to make it more comfortable, you can use that. For the purposes of this videotaped practice, we'll just take a couple more breaths together before transitioning into wakefulness. Again, either lingering a bit longer or gently beginning to bring some movement to the fingers and the toes. Maybe letting the head rock gently from side to side. You're drawing the legs in closer together and inhaling, extending the arms overhead, stretching down through the tips of the toes. And exhale, bring the knees towards the chest. Extend one arm overhead, gently roll to that side, using your arm as a pillow for a breath or two. And when you're ready, just pushing up into a final seated position. And again, feeling free to linger in a seated position for as long as may feel nourishing, to just notice your breath. And when you're ready, if you like, you can bring hands together and seal your practice with a bow. Namaste.